Las Vegas is going broke. Now hold on. Before you start selling your timeshare for pennies on the dollar, let's take a moment to reflect. That's the headline you might hear. The kind of thing that makes you stop scrolling. It's a shocking statement. It's designed to make you panic. It's also simple, and when things get complicated, people love simple. So, when the numbers in Vegas started looking a little less sparkly, everyone started looking for a simple explanation. One explanation the experts have failed to include is the simple fact: the Canadians have stopped coming. The land of polite apologies and maple syrup has suddenly made a significant contribution to the potential downfall of Sin City. It sounds crazy, right? Like blaming a library for being too quiet. So, when that friend suddenly starts ghosting you, you notice. The city felt it, the casinos felt it, and the narrative began. The Canadians have vanished, and they have taken all their money with them. This is a fact the experts have either missed or ignored until now. Those high-spending party animals of the North are now staying home or finding other places to party, and here's why. First of all, fewer people from one place means less money. Those quiet Canadians always had an escape plan for those long, cold winters. They had a hero to call on, and that hero was Vegas. Now Vegas has a villain, the reason business is in the toilet, those mysteriously absent Canadians. Analysts have now started pointing fingers. Hotel managers would whisper about the drop in bookings from Toronto. Hotel managers would whisper about the drop in bookings from Vancouver. Shopkeepers on the Strip would say the days felt slower. It was a powerful, compelling story that spread quickly. Canadians are now avoiding Vegas and the US in general because of several reasons. It is now becoming more difficult for Canadians to enter the United States. They need passports, and, on some occasions, their cell phones are being examined and confiscated. The US has threatened to annex Canada to become its 51st state. Canadians have been made to feel unwelcome by US authorities, and they're reacting by just avoiding the US. But there are many more reasons the Canadians have stopped coming, and let's examine those issues. Let's look at the whole truth. It's like saying a car stopped working just because it ran out of gas, or ignoring the 4 flat tires, or the engine that's on fire. The claim that Canadians single-handedly abandoned Las Vegas is a great hook. It gets your attention. So, how do we actually know that fewer Canadians were making the pilgrimage to the desert oasis? It's not just a feeling or a rumor whispered between casino pit bosses. There is cold, hard data that points to a definite Canadian chill. You start at the airport, the gateway to the city. Harry Reid. International Airport's own statistics are the first clue. Departures board showing cancellations and drops. Toronto, Calgary, Vancouver. Airlines don't keep flying empty planes, they consolidate. They reduce frequency. They cut routes altogether. Fewer direct flights made it harder to get there, so fewer people tried. Hotels tell the next chapter. Modern booking systems are incredibly sophisticated. They know where bookings come from. Postal code analysis showed a dip from Canada. A hotel manager can see vacancies in real time. Alberta reservations that used to sell out for the rodeo are empty. The Ontario long weekend rush has faded. These are spreadsheets, not guesses. Then, the casino floor. The beating heart of Vegas. Casinos are masters of data. They track high rollers, origins, and games. So, if the Canadians really did stay home, why? It wasn't a coordinated national boycott. There was no secret meeting where the entire country decided Vegas was over. Instead, it was a series of practical, financial, logistical hurdles that popped up all at once. The biggest and most obvious reason is the exchange rate. Think of it like a fun tax. When the Canadian dollar weakens against the US dollar, every single thing in Las Vegas gets more expensive without the price ever changing. A $100 show ticket isn't $100 anymore, it's $135. That $20 cocktail suddenly feels like $27. That $500 you budgeted for gambling now disappears 35% faster. It adds up quickly. Next, look at the cost and convenience of getting there. Post-pandemic, airlines were in survival mode. They cut routes based on profitability. Some direct flights from smaller Canadian cities to Las Vegas were slashed and never returned. That turned a 3-hour direct flight into a 7-hour ordeal with a layover. Layovers in Denver, layovers in Salt Lake City. More travel time means less vacation time. Higher prices, plus longer travel make spontaneous Vegas trips less appealing. Suddenly, a local trip or an all-inclusive beach vacation. The simple story, the one where Canadians just stopped showing up, is tempting. It's easy to digest, but the truth is, Las Vegas wasn't hit by a single rogue wave, it was caught in a perfect storm. Blaming a single cause is like blaming one ingredient for a cake that didn't rise. It ignores the complex interplay of multiple factors that all converged at the same time. The decline in Canadian visitors wasn't the cause of the problem. It was a symptom of a much larger collection of issues. It was a canary in the coal mine, signaling that the fundamental value proposition of a Vegas vacation was being challenged from multiple angles at once. First, let's talk about competition. While Vegas was dealing with its own issues, other destinations were getting smarter and more aggressive. Resort towns in Mexico and the Caribbean perfected the art of the all-inclusive package. For a single, predictable price, a Canadian family could get their flight, hotel, food, drinks. There were no surprise resort fees, no eye-watering dinner bills, no worrying about a terrible run at the blackjack table wiping out your food budget. For a family watching their dollars, the certainty of an all-inclusive deal was incredibly attractive compared to the unpredictable, a la carte pricing model of a typical Las Vegas trip. Inside Vegas itself, things were changing on the ground. The city was a victim of its own success. As it grew and attracted more residents, the cost of living went up. This put pressure on businesses. To maintain profits, some casinos started cutting back on the very things that built their legendary status. The generous comps, the free rooms for loyal players, and the famously cheap buffets began to disappear. Resort fees, parking fees, and other add-on charges became standard. For the veteran Vegas visitor who remembered the golden era of value, the city started to feel less generous and a lot more transactional. The magic was being replaced by math. Numbers on a spreadsheet can feel abstract and distant. They show trends, but they don't tell you about the people behind them. To truly understand the impact, you have to look at the human stories. Let's meet Maria and Jim, a retired couple from Toronto. For 15 years, their anniversary trip was a non-negotiable ritual. 4 nights at the Bellagio, the familiar sights, the thrill of the slot machines, their traditional dinner at a favorite steakhouse. But in 2024, they did the math. The flight, once a reasonable $400 round trip, was now closer to $700. With the Canadian dollar hovering around 73 cents, their usual $5,000 vacation budget was suddenly going to cost them nearly 7,000 CAD. They looked at their retirement savings and made a tough choice. Maria later wrote to a friend, "Vegas just doesn't feel like it's for us anymore. It costs too much to get there and everything feels more expensive when you arrive. It's lost its magic for us." Instead, they took a cruise to Alaska. It was a different kind of trip, but the price was predictable and it felt like a better value. Then, there's the story of a younger group. 4 friends from Calgary who used to come down for the Super Bowl weekend every year. They weren't high rollers, but they would book 2 rooms, spend freely at the bars and sports books and see a show. But their priorities started shifting. One of them got into hiking and suggested a trip to Zion National Park instead. Another found a deal on a ski weekend in Whistler. They also noticed changes in Vegas itself. It used to be that you could find a cheap prime rib special and feel like you were getting a deal. Now you have to pay for parking everywhere and a beer costs $18. It just feels like they're trying to squeeze every last penny out of you. These personal decisions, made in living rooms and group chats across Canada, created a powerful cumulative effect. When a major source of tourists like Canada pulls back, the impact isn't confined to the gleaming towers on the Strip. It creates a ripple effect that spreads throughout the entire local economy, touching lives far from the casino floor. The first and most immediate effect is on jobs. Think about a hotel. Running at 80% occupancy instead of its usual 95%. That doesn't just mean empty rooms. It means fewer hours for the housekeepers who clean them. It means the front desk might not need that extra overnight agent. When a major buffet, once a magnet for tourist families, closes down due to lower demand, chefs, servers, kitchen staff are suddenly out of work. This economic tremor then travels to the businesses that support the tourism industry. Taxi drivers, ride-share drivers who ferry people from the airport find themselves waiting longer between fares, especially during what used to be peak Canadian travel weeks. A driver might see their nightly earnings drop by $50 or $100. Over a month, it's the difference between making rent comfortably and falling behind. It's the car payment they struggle to make. The impact is also felt by the city's small business owners. A sustained 10 to 15% drop in revenue isn't just a line on a spreadsheet, it's a threat to their survival. Ultimately, this affects the city's public services. A significant portion of the taxes that pay for schools, parks, roads, first responders in Clark County comes from tourism. Every hotel room booked, every show ticket sold, every meal purchase generates tax revenue. When tourism dips, tax receipts fall. Blaming Canada might have been an easy way to explain the problem, but it offers no solution. The real path forward for Las Vegas lies in acknowledging the complex reasons for the slowdown and taking clear, practical steps to address them. The city has reinvented itself before, and it can do it again. The goal isn't just to lure Canadians back, it's to strengthen the city's appeal to everyone by focusing on value, convenience, and experience. First and foremost, Las Vegas needs to tackle the travel barrier. This means actively partnering with airlines to restore direct, affordable flights from key Canadian cities. It could involve offering marketing support or other incentives to make these routes more financially viable for the carriers. Next, the city must re-establish its reputation for providing incredible value. Resorts could create transparently priced vacation packages that bundle rooms, shows, and dining credits, eliminating the nickel-and-diming feeling that comes with endless fees. Bringing back some beloved high-value loss leaders can generate immense goodwill and positive word of mouth. Communication is critical. Las Vegas needs a smart, honest, targeted campaign directly to Canadians. It should address the pain points head-on, highlight new flight deals, showcase family-friendly packages, and promote attractions beyond gambling, sports, concerts, outdoor adventures. Authentic stories beat glossy ads. Finally, continue to diversify. Build on sports momentum, invest in parks, cultural events, and food festivals for broader appeal. In the end, the story of the missing Canadians isn't a tragedy. It's a wake-up call. The lights of Vegas haven't gone out, they just need to shine on a better deal. Click like, subscribe, and smash that bell for Worldwide Wired.